Hi, I'm Tammy. We're here at Day 1 of IT Expo East 2012 in Miami. I'm joined today by Peter Stanforth, CTO of Spectrum Bridge. Thanks for joining us, Peter.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about your company.
So we're a spectrum management company. We take all the unused spectrum and we try to find ways to let people beg, borrow, steal, rent, or otherwise use it. But we make sure that the person who actually owns it, the property owner, gets to use it first, and that we only give people the right to use what they're not using. So as these cell phones get more and more need for bandwidth, we hope to be able to give them that bandwidth.
Great. So tell me a little bit why your Spectrum products are different from the competitors.
Well, this is actually unique from the point of view of we're the first company that's ever tried to do this. The rules were literally changed a year ago that make this possible. And actually the very first place it went live was Wilmington last week. So until a year ago, nobody could do this. It took years of effort by a lot of big companies, including ourselves, to convince the FCC that this was the right way to manage spectrum. And so there will be competitors to us, no doubt. But today we're actually the only people that do it with a license from the FCC.
So what challenges have you been seeing in the Spectrum in terms of wireless technologies?
So the first challenge is literally that we got started because we found lots of business and enterprise users who came to us looking for broadband solutions, and we couldn't get them a broadband solution because the spectrum wasn't there to support them.
Right.
So we recognized the demand, and then the challenge was getting the government to change the rules to let us do this. And then the last piece of the puzzle is convincing the different radio vendors to adopt the capability, because we obviously have to tell the radio to go here or go there, and so that has to be built into the radio. So the radios you bought last year won't work, so we need people to adopt and build these new radios so it all becomes something we can use.
Great. So speaking of, what do you expect to occur in the next year or so for the industry?
So it's a very exciting time because what you're seeing is the first generation of products, and it's kind of like Wi-Fi was 10 years ago. It was, you know, it was brand new, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things have happened, lots of things that nobody ever thought Wi-Fi would get used for. And that's really what's going to happen now, is this spectrum allows you to get more bandwidth, and the signals will go further. So a lot of those dead spots you get with Wi-Fi and a lot of places where it doesn't work, you'll be able to do things. So people are starting to do lots of interesting, new and innovative applications that they've just struggled to do until now.
Right. Why would you say they've struggled?
Well, two things. One is that the spectrum that we've had available to use is high frequency, so it doesn't travel very far. So if you were a municipality and you had to go half a mile, then it was tough to get spectrum that would go that far. And the other problem is that Wi-Fi band, we use it for so many things now that it's getting congested. So what we've done is done the equivalent of add more lanes to the highway and kind of raise the speed limit so you can go faster. So that allows you obviously the opportunity to do a lot more.
So what can we expect from your company in 2012?
So we've sort of done the launch here in the US, and we have active trials in the UK and Finland and Singapore. So our goal is to make this same white space and the spectrum sharing available all over the world, so that those companies that we work with here in the US, we can obviously go and be selling those solutions around the world. So that's the goal for us, is we won't conquer the world this year, but we hope to start doing it this year.
Well, sounds like you have the tools to do so.
We're having a lot of fun doing it. I
Great.
think we will do.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.